Hey you guys, it's your favorite chef Jess. Welcome back to my channel, The Journey. This is your first trip with us. Grab a seat, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Straight to that subscribe button, then honk that notification bell so you'll know exactly when the next journey will begin. Alright guys, today I have a nice little mukbang set up for y'all. I've been watching a whole lot of Asian mukbangs and I've been so intrigued by Soba noodles. Soba noodles are whole wheat noodles. Kind of like ramen, but these particular soba noodles are served cold. And even more surprisingly, it's an instant ramen, guys. So this one is called, I'm gonna jack up the name, I'm sorry, Nongshim Japanese style soba noodles. And they come with the sauce, they come with the nice little vegetable packet, which looks like it has green onions and seaweed inside, and then the soba noodles. And like I said, you cook them like you cook normal ramen, but then you cool them down and enjoy them. Sorry about that. You cool them down and then enjoy the noodles. So, excuse me, I've never had these type of noodles before, so I'm gonna dig right in. Oh, let me tell you what I have on the side. I have some cucumber, some shrimp, and some peppers, sweet peppers, chopped up, well, sliced up. And then I have some yummy seaweed snacks. They're pretty much, ooh, they're so good. It's nori, like you get in sushi, but then they season it with like some kind of salty and sweet spices. It's good to me, I love it. Yeah, so let's start. I have these cute little chopsticks that I got from the Asian market by my house. And let's dig right in, y'all. This will be my first time, like I said, trying these kind of noodles, so bear with me. They're really, really long. I have my backup fork just in case, you know, I can't get the hang of these chopsticks and the noodles. Mmm. Let me go to the bottom. I'm gonna get one more bite. I'm gonna tell you what they taste like. I think this is a little bit trickier than like getting a ramen noodle because you have to like transfer it from bowl to bowl and still kind of like manage your chopsticks at the same time. Why am I blowing it? It's cold, see? I don't know, y'all. It kind of tastes like a teriyaki sauce, to be quite honest with you. A little bit watery, a watery teriyaki sauce. It's not that salty, to be quite honest with you. It's more so sweet. You can definitely tell it has like some kind of sesame product in there. I don't know if it's a sesame oil because there's not a lot of like, you know how when you put oil in water it gets that sheen at the top? There's not a lot of that sheen at the top of this. And then it also has the green onions and the seaweed in there too. That's really good. And also have, I'm gonna use my hands. I also have some cucumber. That's because I see a lot of people eating cucumber with their soba noodles. Makes you understand why. It's really refreshing. I had a thought that I wanted to talk about today on the channel. I don't know how receptive you guys are gonna be of this. And I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it either. So let me get a few more bites and then I'll see where this mukbang goes from there. I remember when you was a kid, you used to eat noodles like this. I can't say this is the bomb though. I got my little water on the side. Whee. All right, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it. So today's discussion I want to open up is one that's pretty personal to me. And it's funny because I had just saw a post about it on Facebook and it made me think. And the post simply said, functional depression is real. Make sure you check on your friends who are loud, boisterous, and, you know, basically outgoing, or even introverts. And I started laughing to myself. But I'm not really laughing to myself. I started thinking to myself, that's so true. A lot of you guys don't know my past. You guys don't know my... Well, if you've been on this channel from when I first started it about 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, you would know my past. But I was married previous to being in my current relationship. And that marriage ended due to infidelity on the part of my then husband. I never thought I would be the type of person to like wallow in my misery. I've always been the one to just get up and pick myself up and keep moving, show good face, and say, yeah, everything is cool, I'm fine, you know? But little did I know, in the back of my mind and my heart of hearts, I was suffering from depression. I was depressed about the situation. I was hurt, of course, naturally, as anyone would be in that situation. I did feel borderline suicidal. Not anymore. Not anymore, I'm good now. But at the time, yeah, I did feel borderline suicidal. But I had my son to live for. And honestly, he helps me through a lot of situations. Even though he's only 3 years old, he helps me see the brighter side of life. As time passed, I grew to accept it, that this was my new norm, that I'm no longer married and I have to find my way. And yeah, I just picked up and I kept going. I moved down to Florida. We tried to work things out and it just wasn't happening. The more I thought about it, the more depressed I became, the harder I worked. The more I started burying myself in things to do and putting on face to seem like I was okay. I really wasn't. Very few people saw through the facade. And they just went about living their normal lives, and I was living my life in shambles. But functionally, still going to work every day, still putting on face. Oh, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm not even worried about him anymore, you know. I'm living my best life. When in reality, I am crying inside, like dead to the world, crying inside. Don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Crazy. And I can honestly say, like, the really only people who, like, knew what I was going through was probably, like, my mom and Marquise, surprisingly. And depression doesn't hit you all the time, like, right away. Like, my depression really didn't hit me until almost a half a year later, like 6 months later, when I really started to feel like pushing people away. It was easier for me to lie from a distance, I guess you can say. Because if you're close to me, you would know that that wasn't who I was. Like, I lived in Florida. I didn't want to go to the beach. And if anybody knows me, you know I love going to the beach. I wouldn't take my son to the park anymore. We just chill out the house. And when people call me and ask me what you're doing, I'm just chilling at home. That's what I'm doing. But I'm chilling at home with all my windows closed. All the windows are closed. I'm not answering my phone for anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. From the outside looking in, it could look like I was distancing myself from people, which in a way I really was distancing myself. But it was because I didn't know how to deal with that depression. I didn't know how to say, yo, I'm sinking into this whatever. Come help me, get me out my house, get me out the room, you know. Take me out to go do something so I can stop wallowing in this sea of fear and regret. But I do thank God for, like, you know, my mom and Marquise, because they still do. They don't even know that they do till this day, because every now and then I do get into my depressive modes where I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to, like, do anything or whatever, or make new friends, or sometimes I won't go to church, or I won't put myself in a position to, like, to meet new people, advance myself or whatever. But then they notice that, and then, like, you know, they talk me off of that ledge, so to speak. So I truly am thankful for them. But I do say all of that to say, check up on your friends. And not just a checkup like you call them, you know, out of the blue, and it's like, oh, hey, I was just thinking about you. How you doing? Especially, like, if you know your friend or whoever has a history of being depressed or has gone through depression. Because I could tell you one thing. Sometimes people could be, like, going through depression and they come out of that depression. It could be anything to trigger them to go right back into the same depression that they were just in, with no rhyme, reason, or cause. And it could be for the exact same reason why they fell into that depression to begin with. So check up on your friends. And I know it's something that I just say like so easily, like, hey, check up on your friends. But I don't do it often. You know, I always get, for me personally, I always get scared of, well, not scared. I always hear the phrase, misery loves company, right? Everybody's heard it. Everybody's said it at one point or another. These peppers are so good. They're mad sweet. So I fear that by me venting to a friend or talking to somebody about how I'm feeling or what I'm going through, that I'm inviting company to my misery. You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes, like, I don't necessarily go to my friends about certain things, but there are certain friends that do know what I'm going through that, I don't know, we just don't discuss about, you know, those personal things that much anymore. So I have to make a better effort at discussing the truth, my truth, and where I'm at in life. And be just as willing and receptive in return. Kind of glad I got that off my shoulder. And I say that because, like I said earlier, you know, little things can trigger off depression, like your depression. And sometimes my triggers can be something as simple as when my son comes back home from his visits with his dad, and he's so sad that his dad has to leave that it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad as well. And then I go right back into that same depressive state. Sometimes I bounce right back. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes, you know, it weighs heavy on my mind. Like, dang, you know, the reason why my son can't be with his father, you know, 24/7 is because I don't know. I always blame myself, even though I'm not the one that committed the infidelity. I'm just the one who didn't want to stay in that situation. Because it wasn't once. But that's my truth. And sometimes, and recently I did slip back into a slight depression, you know, where my mom calls and she's like, you sound so distant, what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. You know, I know she knows, but I also know my mom's not going to push me. She knows not to push me that far, but to push me far enough that I get to talking again. Because once you get to talking about it, and you cry about it, or however your release is, you bounce back. You get back to yourself. Once you rationalize things in your head and you realize, hey, I didn't do anything wrong in this situation. I didn't bring this on myself. You know, that's when you just start to say, let me bounce back. Let me get back to myself. And I don't want it to take a toll on my recent friends that I made out here, because even with them too, like sometimes I notice that, like, okay, first of all, I don't like to talk on the phone, period. Like, I'm not a phone person. Like, you can't catch me on the phone. I just don't like to talk on the phone that much. I'm like my mama in that sense. Like, if you want to stop by my house, hey, drop by. Come on. Now, the living room may not be as clean, I'm just saying, but stop by. But for me to talk on the phone or even to call somebody on the phone, I don't know. It's weird. You can text me all day long and I'll text you back. But I don't want to make new friends with my old mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make new friends and start new and not go with the old patterns that I've had. So, with that being said, check up on your friends. Even the ones who smile in your face, even the ones, sorry if y'all hear that airplane in the background, but I live next to an, I don't know if it's an army base airplane or what, but airport, I'm sorry. It's not a commercial airline. It's literally just like jets that fly by. But yeah, check up on your friends, especially the ones who have the biggest smiles, who seem to be living their life like it's golden on social media, who seem to be having it all together, because sometimes they don't have it all together. And do some research, like, know how to approach them, especially like if y'all have been friends for a good while and you know how to get through to your friend, get through to them, because you never know when it's going to be somebody's last moment of redemption. Which is really good. You never know when it's going to be somebody's last moment of redemption. Somebody's last moment to say, if somebody calls me right now, I'll put the pills down. Or if somebody calls me right now, I'll put the gun down. If somebody calls me right now, I won't go out and do that stupid something that I really feel like doing. You know what I mean? And I'm really grateful to God that he puts people in my life that I don't get to those extremes. But speaking from experience, I do know that it's very easy to get there. It's very easy to go from extremely happy to extremely sad. So, with that being said, guys, I'm all done with my mukbang. I thank you guys for rocking with me. I know it got a little bit dark and a little bit, heavy in this video, but I really appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Comment down below, talk to me, let me know if you've gone through similar situations. If you know somebody who's gone through similar situations, and how did they deal with it? How do you guys deal with these situations? And let me know. I love to chat back with you guys. Like I always say, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Message your girl in them comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.